That's the sound of BMW's M760 Li xDrive, BMW's most powerful vehicle to date. It boasts a brand new M Performance twin-power turbo 12-cylinder gasoline engine. The 6.6-liter motor generates a maximum output of 448 kilowatts, or 610 horsepower. 20-inch light alloy wheels help give the 5.24-meter high-performance sedan its sporty look. Its new M Sports exhaust system with flap control ensures a mighty V12 roar. The M760 Li xDrive also comes with an automatic 8-speed Steptronic sport transmission. DTM race car driver Augusto Farfus is trying out the €167,000 BMW M760 Li on Palm Springs racetrack.
The 760 with this V12 engine, it has a lot of power, a lot of torque. And just to give you an example, from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, my DTM car goes around 3 seconds, 3.1 seconds. The 760, it goes 3.7. And this is down to the launch control system we have on the car and the four-wheel drive, the xDrive. As I said, it just managed to pull you very fast out of the corners.
From engine speeds of 1,500 RPM, the car has a maximum torque of 800 Newton meters. It's got an electronically limited top speed of 250 kilometers an hour, but the optional M Drivers package will let you reach 305 kilometers an hour. The downside, on average, the BMW consumes 12.8 liters per 100 kilometers.
You have the electronic roll bars on the car, and the electronic roll bars helps to keep always ideal balance in the corners. They act in order to keep the platform stable and have a steering wheel extremely precise. The electronic differential, the xDrive, it is a rear wheel based traction, but on top of that, you have always the car looking for the optimum traction. And as an example, I go on power and the car just gets out from the corner without wheel spin, without drift, and you see the automatic gearbox, how quick it is to upshift. Really powerful brakes, 19-inch brakes, which allows you to go very late on brakes and no fading. It is pretty impressive that this is a 7 Series and you drive on track as a race car.
Those who don't want the M760 as a race car but still covet a status symbol can opt for the Excellence model. It comes with plenty of chrome on the exterior. Given the vehicle's dimensions, there's lots of room inside, especially in the back. There's even a fancy footrest.
So we have the turning rear wheels, which helps car to turn into sharp corners, to U-turns like here. So I come, I turn, and I feel that the car has no understeer. I can go on power, and the car stays on track. And it's a perfect combination. You can have a very comfortable car to travel, to cruise, using the torque of the engine. You can have a family car to go shopping. There is plenty of space. Or you put everything on sport mode and this car becomes very spicy. Fast, sharp, like a race car. It is fantastic.
The third-generation Mazda 6 has been out since 2013 and sold over 500,000 cars in that time. 80% of them outside Europe. Every year, Mazda has to spiff up its sixes a little for those non-European buyers. They've come to expect it. Car tester Andre Zimmermann's always been a fan of the Mazda 6 anyway, mainly because it's so much fun to drive. Not in terms of getting around the racetrack as fast as possible, but just in terms of everyday transportation. It's easygoing, but fleet-footed. One result of the upgrade is that the engine is more responsive. Our test car got 110 kilowatts of power from its Sky Active D150 diesel engine with 2.2 liters capacity. The starting price for the Nakama trim line in Germany comes to just under 35,000 euros. The Mazda 6's soundproofing has been enhanced for the 2017 model year, so we hear less of the diesel engine. Even so, when accelerating, the Mazda 6 can't entirely hide the diesel under its hood. But once you get up to speed on a straightaway, you could almost forget that fact.
Konstanter Geschwindigkeit dahin gleitet, dann könnte man schon fast vergessen, dass der Motor überhaupt läuft.
To optimize the noise levels, Mazda concentrated mainly on the lower speed ranges, and it paid off. On the outside, not much has changed. The turn signals in the mirrors have been moved around to the front. The safety systems have also been given a rework. A new high-definition camera on the windshield is used for the driver's assist for lane keeping, high beams, and the smart city brake support. Andre points out that the redesigned steering wheel somewhat resembles the one in the Mazda MX-5. It's also got thinner padding. That doesn't bother Andre, but someone is certain to complain. Andre quite likes the fact that it's heated too, even if it's just in the grips on the sides and not the top or bottom.
Dem wird auffallen beim Umgreifen, dass natürlich nur die Grundstellung des Lenkrads beheizt ist und nicht der obere und untere Teil.
Mazda's engineers have also fine-tuned the handling, but without altering the suspension components. The car maker says new software for the control module helps make for safer and easier driving. Now Andre comes to the highlight of the upgrade, the driver's assistance system with the rather spectacular name G-Vectoring Control. The system varies the engine torque to shift the center of gravity. It reduces the torque when rounding corners, which moves the center of gravity forward and improves the vehicle's cornering behavior. For greater stability coming out of the curve, it increases the torque, shifting the center of gravity toward the rear. These are very particular details that make all the difference. Andre doesn't think the Mazda 6 absolutely needed the upgrade, but he admits it's a clever move on Mazda's part to do this annually because it keeps the competition from getting too much of a head start. Smart has become the first automaker in the world to offer its complete range of models as electric cars. The fourth generation of the Smart electric drive includes a 4-seat version along with a 2-seater and the convertible. The battery in all Smart vehicles is located under the front seats. Its official range is 155 kilometers. The G650 Landaulet is the first off-road vehicle constructed by Mercedes' luxury subdivision Maybach. The edition is limited to 99 cars, and they come with a muscular V12 motor, an electrically retractable canvas roof, and a range of luxury options. With 463 kilowatts and a maximum torque of no less than 1,000 Newton meters, the G650 could probably tow away a tank. The price has yet to be set. Car tester Emanuel Schaefer is convinced if any car maker knows about off-road driving, it's Jeep. Its off-roaders have been rolling from the assembly line for over 75 years now. The Grand Cherokee's current fourth generation has been going since 2010. There have been a few facelifts in that time, but our test car is no ordinary one. This Grand Cherokee, in the Trailhawk line of options, is available starting with the 2017 model year. It's the variant best designed for off-road driving, as the reinforced skid plates and the quadra-lift air suspension confirm. The Trailhawk also offers all-wheel drive with an electronic limited slip rear differential. Emanuel has learned that the fifth generation Grand Cherokee should have replaced the current generation by late last year, in time for the 2018 models. But Jeep ran into development delays. The fifth generation is supposed to share its unibody platform with a long-awaited new Wagoneer, and it will apparently take longer to achieve this than originally planned. Jeep drivers know the Grand Cherokee not only looks like an off-roader, he says, it can really go off-road. The Trailhawk version we tested, even more so. It's been especially designed for rugged conditions. Along with the additional equipment, the Trailhawk Jeep sports Kevlar reinforced tires. The Grand Cherokee bridges two worlds, town and country. It's at home in both, so you can drive straight from snow-clad mountain forests to the opera. Our test car's own color scheme, the red line, is only available for the Trailhawk. Higher ground clearance and good traction are two of the 5 qualities a vehicle needs to earn the trail-rated badging. The matte black hood decal cuts out glare. A 3.6-liter Pentastar engine puts out 213 kilowatts of power, hurling the SUV's 2.3 tons from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 8.3 seconds. Average fuel consumption is rated at 8 liters per 100 kilometers. Our test car lists for about 62,000 euros in Germany. The driver, Emanuel says, can turn the dial to various driving modes while the Jeep is in motion, depending on the surface. Among other things, that sets the height of the air suspension. The quadra-lift air suspension offers 5 height settings and plays a crucial role in the car's adapting equally well to off-road or city driving conditions. From the back, the Jeep looks very bit as beefy as from the front. The rear cargo area contains 782 liters of space, expanding to 1,550 liters with the back seat folded down. The interior is fairly straightforward, no frills, but arranged for easy operation. The 8.4-inch display is a touchscreen. The combined leather velour seat upholstery makes for a high-quality feel, and even the backseat passengers enjoy heated seats, plus USB ports to recharge their mobile phones. Youngsters will appreciate details like this. Emanuel has decided that for a car that shouldn't even exist anymore, the 2017 facelifted Grand Cherokee cuts a good figure. After all, Jeep knows how to build off-roaders, and the Trailhawk version is just right for people who like to strike out cross-country. For a real workhorse, 88,000 euros will buy the SRT equipment line and bring a piece of the American dream to Europe. This version includes a 6.4-liter V8 engine. If you don't want a Mercedes, a BMW, or an Audi, you still have plenty of options. We're in Copenhagen to check out the many alternatives. We start with Scandinavian carmaker Volvo. The S90 is very modern, right down to the last screw. Its looks cool, calm, and collected. Volvo is trying to escape being known only for its station wagons. Its new sedan is bigger, more than an S than an E-Class Mercedes. This Swedish giant is elegant and stylish. Kudos to Volvo head designer Thomas Ingenlath and his team. The S90 combines a classic basic shape with modern details. The interior has been painstakingly designed using top quality materials. The S90 is a good car for taking long trips, even though it only comes with a 4-cylinder engine. We test drove the regular gas model with 187 kilowatts of power. Margrethe II, Queen of Denmark, lives in Amalienborg Palace. She'd probably be most captivated by the Jaguar XF. It definitely has a royal air to it. The combination of leather, aluminum, and luxury inlays is very British indeed, even though the automotive industry has long done a Brexit from the UK. Jaguar is part of the Indian Tata conglomerate, but that hasn't damaged the brand. Technologically, the Jaguar XF is every bit the equal of its rivals. It's quiet and understated. But the 221 kilowatt diesel engine is quick off the mark. The easy shifting 8-gear automatic transmission, on the other hand, is rather reserved. This Jaguar is a pussycat with some sharp claws. The opposite of the Jaguar comes from Bella Italia. Maserati is famous for stirring up excitement, and who isn't moved by the Ghibli? Ghibli, the famous Maserati super sports car from the 1960s. Back then, 8-cylinder engines were a must. The Ghibli sedan car may only have a V6, but on the other hand, the engine is a Ferrari. Thanks to its bi-turbo, the engine has 301 kilowatts of oomph, and the Ghibli is anything but demure. The top-of-the-line SQ4 model has all-wheel drive, and its handling on the asphalt is beyond reproach. It's a high-performance sports car with 4 doors. The interior is like an immaculate Armani suit, featuring perfectly contoured seats and leather everywhere. The tradition of Alta Moda is alive and well. And speaking of tradition, Alfa Romeo is back. Reports of the demise of this venerable brand name were greatly exaggerated. The new Giulia is a classic Alfa that bewitches drivers not just with its looks, but above all with its performance. It features a sideways mounted motor and rear-wheel drive. The chassis is ideal, not too hard and not too soft. The Giulia has also been put together really well. No rattling or scraping noises here. The design of the interior is nothing short of grand. The new Giulia could become a new cash cow for Alfa. The one element that doesn't fit in is the diesel motor. Lexus is Toyota's luxury brand, and it's known for its use of hybrid technologies. Lexus vehicles have been overshadowed somewhat by German luxury sedans. That could change. With its unmistakable front grille, the GS450H is mounting a challenge for dominance of this market sector. The Lexus is as comfortable as the Jaguar and as precisely built as the Volvo. All it lacks is the sportiness of the 2 Italian models. Its ace in the hole is its ultra-efficient engine. According to Lexus, the GS450H consumes only 5.9 liters of gas per 100 kilometers. People looking for prestige sedan cars outside the German market are spoiled for choice. Venerable brand names like Alfa, Maserati, and Jaguar have made the transition into the 21st century. Volvo has landed a huge success with the S90, which combines fantastic design with the latest technology. The Lexus makes its case with the longevity of its super-efficient hybrid technology. These 5 luxury sedans are much like the Copenhagen itself, a city that pairs tradition with no shortage of modernity. Back in the 1950s, Western Europe was in a post-war recovery boom. More people could now afford the nicer things in life, and in the automotive world that meant exclusive coupes and convertibles. Carmen always specialized in open-top cars, explains our car reviewer Christoph. The Osnabrück-based coach maker turned out its first slick-looking convertibles and coupes in 1902 for all manner of car makers. But its moment of real glory came in 1958 with a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, named after the coach maker that actually built it. And rightly so, because the car would never have materialized had it not been for Wilhelm Carmen Jr., company chief and son of its founder. In the early 1950s, he persuaded VW boss Heinrich Nordhoff to put together a prototype. La Dolce Vita from Osnabrück, declares Christoph. The design of the Carmen Ghia was most unusual for a West German car in the 1950s, and it's no surprise to see an Italian behind it, Ghia head designer Luigi Segre. Wilhelm Carmen secretly asked him to put a beautiful metal shell onto a used Beetle chassis. In 1953, VW's hard-nosed boss, Heinrich Nordhoff, looked at the prototype and loved it. The Carmen Ghia went into production. The coupe got the undertaking rolling in 1955. This old advertisement shows workers polishing the Carmen by hand. The message was clear. The new Volkswagen promised exclusivity, elegance, and dynamic handling at an affordable price. The car was also marketed in the U.S.
One of the most exhilarating cars in the world, the Carmen Ghia by Volkswagen.
That said, the Carmen Ghia's performance always trailed behind the promise of its dynamic appearance, although good looks can get you a long way. Just look at those curves. It's as if the car were cast from one block of metal, and it is. The doors and hood are bolted on, but otherwise all the body parts are welded together. That translates into high torsional stiffness. But on the other hand, every single repair job on this very rust-proof body requires a blowtorch. Many people consider the Carmen Ghia the best-looking Volkswagen of all time. The contours are perfection and a veritable delight for the eyes. And there's a range of other loving details that make the car a pleasure just to look at, let alone drive. The Carmen has 32 kilowatts of power and sprints to 100 kilometers per hour in a leisurely 23 seconds. Top speed is 136 kilometers per hour. The car was especially popular with the ladies, explains Christoph, earning it the naughty nickname Housewife's Porsche. It is 20 kilometers per hour faster than the Beetle, thanks to its aerodynamics, but it's worlds away from a Porsche. A marriage of spectacular design and conventional production car engineering, the Carmen Ghia was the manifestation of an ingenious concept, one that Volkswagen and Porsche would further develop to acclaim with the 914 and 924 models. The Carmen Ghia deserves a lot of credit in Christoph's eyes. It was a breath of fresh air to West Germany's post-war streets, and the styling also opened up opportunities for other Italian designers in the German car industry. And that's enough reason to call the Carmen Ghia a milestone in automotive history. The Carmen Ghia was in production for almost 2 decades, from 1955 to 1974. It was the first time automobile haute couture was available for the man on the street, too.